How y'all doing out there? This is Nico B, Black Effect. Hit the like and subscribe button. Peace and blessings to those who are sealed in Christ. I want to do this very important message, powerful message that I've stressed this to the brothers before. I keep stressing this because this is something that everyone needs, but not just for the brothers, for the sisters also. There is no gender wars, and goes across the race board, for all races, for human beings, period. No, the reason why you have this strife on the earth, and specifically the reason why men are having their problems out of the women, is because you men are not following the Most High in Jesus Christ. Period. You men are look at even in Muslim countries and other countries like that, that's led by at least some type of biblical, godly tenets and guidance and laws. Look at their women. Their women are even you. Women over here would act like they're being oppressed. Those women aren't unhappy because it's a give and take with everything. Where they lacking at, they gaining in other things. It's balance there. There is no balance over here with the women in America. The scales have been tipped because you already have men have a natural inclination to protect women, so it wasn't like they needed. The only thing you need is equal opportunity, but men aren't equal to women, and we know that, and women know that, and and real women benefit from these double standards. But my thing is, so you have this, and the thing is, it's just in a man's nature to want to protect, and when he gets with a woman, to want to give her things, and if he loves her, or sees value in her, that's just natural. It don't have to be said. But when you encountering wicked men, when you in turn have the Jezebel spirit, and you going in to use men, you're not gonna get a decent man who's gonna do anything for you. He gonna see that wicked men meet wicked women. They see each other and they scheme on each other. That's the way the Lord has ordained that, because God is not going to bring someone who's following him, who's trying to do his will for their life. He's not going to even put a wicked person in their path. And if he does, you'll have enough discernment. He'll give you the gift of discernment. That's the problem. A lot of you dudes don't have discernment. That's a gift that comes from your heavenly Father. If you have the discernment, you'll be able to avoid those people. You'll be able to avoid those women that you don't need to invest in, those Jezebels who will basically use you, man. Look at what happened to David in the Bible, man. David sold his own his friend Uriah. This was his captain in his army. He sold him out for his wife, to sleep with his wife, to sleep with Bathsheba. This is David, who slew Goliath. I know y'all might not know, a lot of people don't know their Bible, but yes, David, he sent Uriah out to be killed in the war, set him up because he had slept with his wife and wanted her for himself. So let's be real, like men, even righteous men, like the power of the flesh, the lust thereof, and things like that. That's a true thing. Like, the Lord doesn't say these things for no. Everything he says is important. So everything that's in this Bible is important. Everything that's in his word. That's why the word is important. You have to spend time in the word to understand God's character. You understand? God wants you to spend time in his word daily. That's spending time with him. Now, we don't have, a lot of us like have abandoned the Most High, and women especially have done that. But it's not about them. Like, God has ordained men to be the leaders. Men, without men, you understand, building all of these things, women wouldn't have and without men allowing it, women wouldn't have the comfortability that they have. Let's just be real. This, like, men always have a deadly alliance when it comes to the natural order of things, and men, and continuing the things of the human race. Like, we know that in order to keep the human race going, men and women have to get together. The best thing to do, the best dynamic to raise children in and productive human beings is the working dynamic of a mother, the biological mother and father. That is the purpose, of human. That is the purpose of human beings as a collective. God said, "Be fruitful and multiply." He's ordained that. Not saying you have to do that, and that's the only thing that fulfills your life. No, but that is a good thing on the earth, and it will, and that is a blessing upon the earth, and it'll forever be that. You understand? So when men understand, when we know that, there's always and then just there's men who just can't control their lust. Men who just burn in their lust. They can't control it. That's why you have rapists in jail, things like that. You even had Hebrew custom laws back in ancient times that even ordained. They had different customs to be able to reconcile things like rape. Like, the man had to pay the father because basically he just defiled his daughter and so forth. But you have men who, rapists and things like that, and men who otherwise wouldn't be, like that. If there would be a deadly alliance if, too many men just could not get their own woman or things like that. That's because it would be chaos among the earth. That would just be the case. And women, notice, women are just going crazy today. A lot of modern women, because of the comfortability that they've been afforded by men. Men win wars, men conquer things, take things. Look at how America was built. It was built off of lies, pillage, blood, sweat, and tears, and that's just it. The backs of even the black man has been over here. Look at what he's done. Helped build a country, and then promised things and never given those things. Just tossed out and taught, and tried to be ridiculed. The progenitor of all the races. The chosen of the Most High, yes. The children of the tribes of Judah, the tribes of Israel, the scattered sheep, yes. The so-called black man and woman over here, been getting oppressed and used for the gain of the country. Like this, that's just the nature of it. That's the nature of this the wicked world, a fallen world. That is the nature, but you have to have that discernment. See, the thing is brothers, if you following God, and you will find God will show you your true purpose. And if you understand something about the Lord, like most of the prophets, I know I just mentioned David, who just basically had a simp moment. David had a horrible simp moment in his life, and his older, after he had became king and got all these and been through all that he went through. But most of the prophets in the Bible, they left and followed God, and they didn't care about what they wife and all that was talking about. You understand? They were following God, and they wasn't trying to hurt. Like, That second, the what they wife was talking about was secondary. I heard some men like, and this has been a thing going out throughout time. You've had some men jump on platforms and media and say, "Ah, my wife is my life." They try, my wife is my life, my happy wife, happy life, or I'm the she's the boss and all that. I heard a lot of white guys say that. I heard people say that. I've heard even been around my people in my family who's acted like that, like basically get chunked and just basically doing everything in their life for they've done everything in their life for women, and then they end up doing everything in their life for this woman that they get with. She running them, she don't respect them, she don't appreciate nothing, she becomes spoiled, she damn near looking at just a wicked woman. But became, and you've done that. It's like you do the same thing with your kid. If you was to keep giving them everything, no one gets better by not taking accountability and you giving them everything and making it seem like everything that they do is right. Okay? Like you spoil kids doing that. You'll spoil anyone doing that. You'll spoil your woman doing that. But you shouldn't focus all of your energy and time on trying to make this woman happy. Like, she should be happy in herself by being with a righteous man. Because it comes with everything. That is her purpose. Like, she asked God, a righteous woman would be asking God for a righteous man. You understand? Because he's going to be leading her, the proper way into the promised land. He's blessed. The kids will be blessed. God will have favor upon her, him and her. God says when the two get together, they become one. So he sees them as one. When you get married to a woman, God sees you two as one. So you should be moving in a unit. He needs you two to raise godly children that can now in turn come upon the earth, and do good things on the earth and bless the earth and so on and so forth. This is what's been happening. You understand? When look at what happened when Moses was born. You understand? Like, Moses was a blessed child. Look at what happened. Solomon, like all of these Solomon was getting schooled by Samuel. Look at all of these people who was these children who were blessed. Like, they had godly parents. Mary was a godly woman. God didn't choose Mary to be the mother of Jesus Christ just for no reason. This was a God-fearing woman, a good woman. That's why the story of the virgin birth is, so ironic, and it's so powerful. And Joseph was, you gotta imagine, man, Joseph was tripping. And before the angel came to him and visited Joseph and told him what was going on, he had to be bugging because he knew Mary was a good woman. He like, oh man, what's going on? This don't even make sense. When you hear good things, when you hear bad things about good women, you don't believe that. You understand? Good women have a good report amongst the community, but you brothers don't know how to discern good women because you're not following God, and you don't have the Most High, the favor of God, the guidance of God, brother. When I'm telling you, you need to get a relationship with God, I'm not talking about a phony one. It may be back in the day, I was in that church stuff. No, bro, I ain't talking about the church stuff and all that. I'm talking about getting a relationship with your Creator for yourself. The problem is you was trying to depend on the people, try to depend on the pastor. You can't lean and depend on the pastor to save you, to save your soul. He's there to give knowledge and wisdom because he studied more than you. Anytime somebody studies something, like you would, and people try to discredit pastors and men of the knowledge of God and men of the cloth and things like that, they try to discredit the and you know and ministers, especially us in the black community. We try to discredit them. We want to discredit them, like getting the knowledge and spending the time does not give you the credentials to know and be able to teach. They know more than you. That's just that. A lot of us, just because we read the Bible as a kid at one time, or a lot of us, just we glance over the Bible, but that don't mean that you have the discernment. That don't mean that God has chosen you to reveal the hidden things there, or even the meanings of things. You can't even explain the meanings of things, like, that are already there. So you should definitely, we need to stop being so arrogant and acting like we can't be taught, like, about things that, and we only do that we try to just do that and bully the ministers and pastors and people who want to do God's will for their life and want to, that's, we only do that with them. It's just like bullying. You want to try to bully them because that's what it is. It's taking people's kindness for weakness. When you be kind, a lot of times people try to take that for weakness, and that's what a lot of these wicked women will do, man. A lot of these wicked and men will do that. A lot of wicked brothers will do that. Like a lot of wicked men, that the pump and dump thing, like, for one, like divorces, you're starting to see a lot of truths in this world. You start to see a lot of truths because time has shown you these things to be true. Women are initiating most of these divorces. They're breaking up their families and initiating these divorces. God is not happy with that. That makes no other sense. And this baby daddy culture, baby mama culture, you understand? Like, dude, what I never get what you do. You have no excuse as a man to leave your family, and just bouncing. Now I get that sometimes you can't be with the woman. You made a mistake. Y'all should have never got together in the first place, but it happens. But abandoning, like, you have to just accept your responsibility, man. Quit running from it. Because that's basically your wife. Why you trying to shuck that off on another man? That's not his responsibility. But again, God is punishing you because you weren't following him when you was trying to, using discernment when you was laying up with this woman. We know that. You know that, and I know that. So you get that, you get your one mistake, like every party, God has forgiveness in these things. We know that God have forgiveness in abundance, mercy in abundance. We understand that. But you can only take God's kindness for weakness so many times when you know what you're doing and you don't want to follow him. You understand? It's too many of us like that. It's too many of us trying to kick knowledge and things like that, but you don't want to follow the Most High. Like, you don't want to follow Jesus Christ. You don't want to follow the Creator and make it to the end ultimately. We don't, like, you don't even have, like, you only have the 40, 50 years of knowledge that you've been lived with. Like it don't make any sense. I don't see any person with any wisdom. The Lord says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of God, that's the beginning of of human wisdom. If you smart, you will fear God, the Creator, who can knock down everything you've built, turn you into a babbling idiot, as he did, he's done that. I think that was King Nebuchadnezzar. He did that with in the Bible. Had the nigga out there, in the forest on his hands and knees, acting like an animal. You think he can't do that? So it's time for the brothers, man, and it's like all of us, the brothers, the sisters, black, white, Hispanic, to return to Christ if you want to heal this land, if you want to heal it. But specifically, talking about trying to get your woman in pocket, or trying to find a decent woman that you can even be with, you have to be following the Most High. You have to be a man of God. Then in turn, get on your purpose for the Lord. And then you can do that. Because right now it's the things that you look with. Really, the problem is you. I said it's you. That's what it is. It's men. The problem is like that we have abandoned God and his tenets. God is the first. He didn't ordain the earth to be like this. You look at a lot of Caucasians, man. A lot of them are confused over here. A lot of them are into that. They've taught that they've taught that to the chosen people of God, and for you to follow these wicked laws and things, or wicked when you just to follow this wickedness, then that's on you. Like black people didn't know nothing about no pants, everything, all this wickedness. You learn that. You don't know about no pansexualism. I mean, it was different type of wickedness going on, but you didn't know about all that. Black people wasn't all on that homosexuality, man. And we was over here like just only 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 40 years, we don't know all of that. That's the wickedness of this land over here. You learn that from these other groups, these other nations of people. So, with that being said, man, I mean, that should be drilled